34-16 is the final score here at Geese Memorial Stadium in Champaign, Illinois. That's Mick Walker. I'm Spencer Holbrook. Welcome into a rapid reaction here at Lettermen Row. It was 34-16. It was 20-3 at the half. It was 20-10. Then Ohio State marches down the field, methodically plods along. I noted it as a blue-collar offensive performance in the First Thoughts story over at lettermenrow.com. Mick, you were on the field for this game. First thoughts go to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough because, there's a lot of things. The biggest takeaway is, there's a lot of things Ohio State does really well. So you want to see them do those really well all the time and at, a really easy speed, because whenever they do it easily. Mm-hmm. But they just, whether it's choice or what, they just don't always do it like that. So that's why you get to a point where it's 10-0 or it's like you said, 20-3, and you get to the half and you're like, that wasn't the prettiest thing, but you're up by 17 points, so I guess you take that.
Yeah, you're supposed to be up 28-0 there. You're supposed to be up 21-3 or 24-3 or something larger than just 20-3. The Buckeyes had 4 red zone possessions in the first half. Now, to their credit, they scored on all 4. This team is very good at scoring in the red zone. It's just scoring touchdowns seems to be a little bit of a bugaboo right now. Kicked a couple of field goals in the second half. They ended up getting in the end zone both times of the red zone. So you see them clean it up in game. It's just early red zone possessions for this team seem to not go the way that they wanted. Now, I will say, Ryan Day pushed back a little bit on the idea that this was a slow start for the offense. Now, it was 10-0. The offense goes down and gets a field goal on the first drive. Should have had a touchdown. Then they go down on the second drive, and they do score a touchdown, but it took just about everything they had trying to get the ball into the end zone. So Day was a little apprehensive to say it was a slow start because they were 2 for 2 on drives. They scored 10 points. That's pretty darn efficient.
You take a 10-0 lead over a top 25 team.
On the road, for sure. Plus, I think it zapped a little bit out of the crowd. But to this crowd's credit and to Illinois' credit, they kind of started to battle back a little bit. I did not think this was a clean performance from the Ohio State offense. The run game obviously needs some work, which we've been saying for weeks now. But it's pretty workmanlike. They kind of plotted down the field. They needed a long drive to kind of put this thing away. It was 20-10. Illinois had just scored a touchdown. And what does Ohio State do? 7 minutes and 52 seconds, 63 yards on 12 or 13 plays and a touchdown. That makes it 27-10 with only 17 minutes to go in this game, and it's effectively over. And so, yeah, you've got a lot that you're going to nitpick out of this performance, and rightfully so. Lettermen Row is also going to nitpick this performance because I think it does deserve some of that, whereas most wins, I think there's a little less nitpicking to do. But all things considered for this offense, I thought that it was a decent performance with certain room for improvement. Ryan Day's absolutely going to agree with that before they go to Wisconsin.
I mean, it's his own words. He said if you don't have tendencies, you don't have anything you're great at. And Ohio State right now in the red zone doesn't really have tendencies. You try a shovel pass to Max Clear. That doesn't convert. Really, the best thing is, and it's not a great play, it's down-to-down percentage-wise, but throwing a fade to Jeremiah Smith obviously worked out very well to him. And that was cool to see because, they keep bringing on these packages where they have 4 or 5 tight ends. You're like, what are you going to do with this? And they did finally show, hey, we have a pass play off of it, and they got it to Jeremiah Smith, which is good. They don't have a lot of tendencies in the red zone right now, but they're clearly working through some things. Ohio State's defense takes away everybody's tendencies, and that's what they kind of did today against Illinois.
Yeah, I wonder if the wind is picking up a little bit of our mics here. I apologize if it is. Let's switch over to the defensive side. We're not going to be here too long. We're going to get back to Columbus, and we'll break all of this down on the Monday after. I thought Ohio State defensively was a little bit of the same, good, not great. It's clear that Lorenzo Styles was missed in this game.
He's a good player, folks.
Yeah, because Devin Sanchez kind of got picked on a little bit. But I think the story of this game and the player of this game for the defensive side is Jermaine Matthews, who he said he knew Illinois was going to run some slants. He knew they were going to break inside routes. He broke one up, and Peyton Pierce is there on the tip ball, tip throws and overthrows. You got to get those. Peyton Pierce gets one and sets the Buckeyes up on their second drive. And then later in the game, Jermaine Matthews comes on a corner blitz, which credit to Matt Patricia and this Buckeyes defensive staff. Illinois has struggled with corner blitz from every opponent they've faced this year. They finally dial one up. Jermaine gets home and swats the ball out of Luke Altmaier's hands, and it falls on the ground, and it's just a race for the football, and Ohio State falls on it. So Jermaine was incredible. I think he is better in the slot, but Ohio State currently needs him more on the outside. But man, if you get him activated any part of this defense, he is showing why he's so good.
It's the duality of man. Spencer and I were joking Jermaine Matthews after the game. Before his strip sack, They were playing the cha-cha slide in the stadium. Caleb Downs, before every drive, does kind of a shuffle back forward, work on his steps from the safety position, very workmanlike. And then you have Jermaine Matthews, who's doing slide to the left, slide to the right. You know, the full cha-cha slide on the sideline. 2 plays later, he gets a strip sack, and they make the play. And that's just the tough, like, you have, like, Jermaine Matthews coming out and doing that. You have the situation where that long drive where they ended up getting the stop, and it was whether he stepped out of bounds or whatever. But, like, even if they would have got that first down, you would have been 1st and 10 at the 39. Like, that drive took a long time to get to the 39. Like, they had a nice play against most teams where Hank Beatty probably gets 20 yards, but somehow Arvell Reese is able to run you down sideline to sideline. And that's, like, even when there's busts or, like, things where it's, like, not great, you just have the talent and the players that can just go make plays. Jermaine Matthews did that. Arvell Reese did that. Like you mentioned, Peyton Pierce, as Byrne likes to call him, the Texas Tornado Bro. He does that and gets the interception. And like, they had Tywone Malone. I think if it wasn't Jermaine Matthews, he had 3 amazing tackles in this game where it was like straight up one-on-ones and he made a play. And they had another goal line stand type of thing where you forced a field goal. Like, defense was humming on all cylinders. Like you said, though, there's things that you want to smooth out and clean up. Not perfect performance.
I mean, Illinois found space in the zones. They found their receivers when they needed to a little bit from time to time. They definitely realized that Devin Sanchez was on the field and picked on him. And I asked a couple of high-level folks at Ohio State after the game, like, hey, is this a good thing for Devin? Obviously, you don't want to give up the yards, but the PFF number is going to be ugly. The receptions and the yards and the touchdown, it's going to all be ugly. But for true freshman, on the road, top 20 opponent, good passing team, and to be able to go out there and just have this experience, I think is going to do wonders for him and pay dividends down the road. I also think that, Ohio State, this kind of proves that they missed Lorenzo Styles, and you hope that Lorenzo is going to be okay. Ryan Day said after the game that Lorenzo was okay. Hopefully they'll have him back next week. As for Edric Houston, Ryan Day said no update on Edric, so I don't know what's going on there. He did leave the field last week to go to the locker room. I don't know what the issue is there, but we'll try to figure it out over at lettermenrow.com. This defensive line, though, Mick, I want to kind of finish here. Caden McDonald, Caden Curry. I would put Arvell Reese along there in the front 7, I guess. Sonny Styles had a great game.
Kenyatta Jackson
was wonderful today. I think the rewatch will bear that out. He didn't have the numbers or the stats that you might expect from a guy who had a wonderful game. But, man, he is just so close on every passing down. And when he comes flying off the edge and gets that bend, it's pretty rare.
More Bo Atkinson snaps as well.
And in the first half, it might have even been on the first drive, Kenyatta shoots through the backfield and gets a tackle for loss on the running back, and you say, okay, here we go. This is going to be a Kenyatta game. And maybe it wasn't exactly like a 3-sack breakout performance from Kenyatta Jackson, but it was a really good game. And obviously you have some standouts. Caden McDonald forces the fumble. You've got 2 Jermaine Matthews forced turnovers. Other than that, it was kind of workmanlike for this defense too, where when you needed a stop, you got one. It's still almost impossible to score on this team in the red zone. They finally did give up a red zone touchdown, but Illinois had to go on 4th and goal for it to happen. Like,
a little trickery as well.
Yeah, it's a defense that's still, I think, a work in progress, even as good as they've been.
They got tested today, and like credit to Illinois for doing that. Mm-hmm. Also, I think we're going to get out of here relatively soon, so I'll say credit to the whole Illinois facility as well. This place, I was telling Byrne midway through the game, like, this was college football. Being here with the 50, 60,000 fans, really well done by the Illinois fan base to actually have a lot of orange in the stadium and not a lot of scarlet invaded it. But I mean, it was loud. It was a cool environment. Champagne's been awesome to us. So thank the host as we head out on this video.
Yeah, I thought that it was a decent performance from the Ohio State offense. The report card over at lettermenrow.com will be very interesting to try to write up at some point here in the next 48 hours.
He's the grader, folks.
Yeah, I'll get the grade card out and everything like that, and we'll do some first half grades as well. I thought the defense was good. Obviously, they gave up a little bit in the second half, but 20-3 at halftime, and Illinois comes out and makes some adjustments and gets a touchdown. Like, okay, then you reset. And this team finally is giving up double digits. Maybe that's a monkey off their back anyway. So, good performance from Ohio State.
Good teams win. Yeah. Great teams cover.
Good to get a win. Good to, 34-16 is a pretty resounding win on the road against the top 20 team. The Buckeyes moved to 6-0 on the season. We have hit the midway point of the regular season. Ohio State's still unblemished on the schedule. So we're going to head back to Columbus, as is Ohio State. I think they're wheels up here in just about 45 minutes. We'll see them back in Columbus on Tuesday for Ryan Day's press conference. We'll see you guys over at lettermenrow.com. And we'll be back on the YouTube channel for the Monday after, on Monday, in the aftermath of Ohio State 34, Illinois 16. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for joining along here in Champaign. For Mick Walker, I'm just Spencer Holbrook. Goodbye for now from Geese Memorial Stadium here in Champaign.